from exploring and seeing the vast oceans on our planet. And now I'm into probably the greatest and most strenuous journey that I've ever undertaken. Partnering with my blind friend Chris and building a house. We've got a guy who's busy leading this build who can't tell a straight line from a skew line. This can't be a recipe for success, or can it?
So Riaan's taking on the role of foreman. Basically, he's going to be my eyes. I just want to get stuck in and prove that a blind man can do anything that a sighted person is able to.
I guess when we named this building Blind, we want to be honest about what we are going to do. But when you say it over and over, it gets scarier and scarier. We are going to be building blind.
Wil jy hom 4.7 maak?
4.7 anders gaan ons gebou uit is.
Okay.
Christopher!
Riaan,
Yes, please. Here we go.
how's it?
No tricks this time.
No tricks
How are
this
you,
time.
man?
What are you doing?
High five. Okay, no, great.
Do yourself.
So just give me a reminder, why Fisher Haven?
Fisher Haven is this awesome place. It's rural, it's got a country feel, peaceful. My little boy can ride his bicycle in the road. There were just so many draw cards when we drove in here for the first time and looked at a house. We felt that this was a place we could live. We just didn't feel that that specific house was a house that we could live in, so we decided to build our own.
Chris, what's happening today?
So I've got Koos here from 360 Home Maintenance. He's the builder that's helping me and luckily doing the NHBRC registration for us. And Koos is marking out the foundations, and the next step of course after that will be for the digger to come. So these are lines that are laid out with a kind of like a chalk, and they will give him a marker so that the machine can come and dig.
I met Chris earlier.
Yeah.
How did you land up with him being the builder?
He was recommended to us by Les, the architect, and we
Okay.
vetted him and checked him out thoroughly, as we tend to do after a few bad experiences. But Chris is a straight speaker. He seems like quite a solid guy. He calls a poop, and I like that because I also call it poop. So hopefully we get on well, we don't fight too much.
You know, we are excited. We just hope that we can do a good job for you, man. Yes, well, I can be a good foreman. Nothing more than that.
I hope so too. Do you know much about building?
I know absolutely nothing, and you
Me
know
too.
that, and you're only asking because you
I
know the
also
camera is
I also
rolling.
know nothing about building, so we'll figure it out.
No, you know a lot more than me. What are you most nervous about?
I'm most nervous about getting the wet work, which is the foundations and concrete, done before the rain comes. Because if it doesn't get done before the rain comes, it could cause delays. Luckily, once it's done, the rest can be done in relatively bad weather.
Now, for Chris as a human being, what are you most worried about?
Everything. I'm a warrior. I worry about everything. But you know, this is an expensive project. It's a scary project. It's a scary move. I've moved my family away from the city. This is the only type of life that they've ever known. And here I'm putting myself in this area where there's so many unknowns, so many things that could go right, so many things that could go wrong.
Are you worried that you can fail?
Never.
Okay, at least one of us feels that way.
Never. No, failure's not an option.
Okay, cool.
It's simply not an option. I can't fail. I have to do the best I can. And the reality is, if we get half the house up and we have to live in a tent in the lounge,
so be it.
You know, as an adventurer, albeit a blind one, you obviously aspire to look at other adventurers and see things that they do and how they do it. And I first met Riaan, was at a trade show. I'd read a couple of his books and you know, kind of like looked up to him in many ways because his whole persona and his attitude to things he lives by the mantra, if you're going to do anything, you have to do it. Don't talk about doing it. I believe people do too much talk, and they should do more talk, listen, do. His famous saying is that there's an ocean between saying and doing. So I think Riaan connected with me well, and we became mates because he he came to realize that I'm a person that says I'm going to do something and then I go ahead and do it. I always say that being blind is like being on a road that's rough, rugged, ripped up, littered with rubble and debris, potholes everywhere. It's a horrible road, but if you just stand there, you'll never get over that, and you may just well get run over. So I take one foot and I put it in front of the other, and eventually I turn those stumbling blocks into stepping stones and get through the rough part. And now, I've never shied away from a challenge. I've always said that no prize can be won without a fight. So you really have to be able to work hard, and being blind, you have to work a little bit harder than you perhaps would have to as a sighted person, or certainly different, in a different way rather than harder. I always say that it took going blind for me to see things more clearly than I ever had as a sighted person. I'm much happier in my life with what I do, who I am, and who I aspire to be than what I was as a sighted person. Or as humans, we only have two things in common. We're born and we die. And people would argue with me and say, but yes, what about life? We all live. My questioning of that is, how many people really, truly live? And how many people just wait to die?
You know what's nice also here is that you guys are also nice, and the privacy is great, eh?
You're far away from crazy lady.
Oh, you're not?
You haven't met her yet. That's the only reason why.
So glad to hear that you're also excited. Because it's not just about Chris, you know?
What do you mean? It's all about me. Sorry, I need to face the right direction.
Sorry, there's the, no, you stay where you are. The gate is to your back, so turn. Now, no, stand, okay, there it is, good. So the gate is right in front of this. Yes,
So
that's the
that's
garage. I see you come straight from parking the car into the bar room.
Well, it's just so if we've got groceries and that, and we come here into the bar over here, we can access the house that way without having to come that way to the front door.
Okay, you've been very defensive. You've been very defensive about why the bar is right by the garage.
And then, of
as
course,
you got home.
What'll happen is the braai is right here, so I just only have to get as far as the bar.
Okay, cool.
And my office is right there, and you know, this could actually become where I live if I'm ever booted out.
So one thing, chatting to your mom now, she's probably more excited than all of us combined. They seem to like Fisher Haven.
It's a calm, quiet place. We've lived in gangster's paradise for way too long.
Yeah.
And most importantly, we're right now in a tiny rental where we're all on top of each other,
Yes.
living out of boxes. The next 6 months is going to be that way.
It must be interesting
we're
in that
keen
household.
to just get the house up, of course. If they've moved, then it's this crazy lady that's moved them. But they were on the outside of the fence, about 4 centimeters from the fence.
Dis 22.
22.
Maar dat is nog weer reg. Somebody moved it.
Crazy lady.
That's not the end. That's not the boundary.
Here's the wall.
No, that's what the boundary was outside the fence.
So we were 1.7 out on the measurement.
No,
Chris
this
did
lady
that
just does
purposefully.
things- She just does. It's actually illegal. It's a crime to move them, man.
That is your property to her wall.
Chris, did
And
you guys not
see
move
she
this?
attached things to my fence as well that she's not allowed to do.
All politics aside, I just want to confirm something because we chatted about this.
Yeah.
You said you were putting this fence over here so you would not be
This
against
fence is
Yes.
inside my property. So
It
when
is.
the surveyor came and put the line in, the line was about this far away from her fence.
Yes.
She never used the surveyor's line. She just put the fence wherever she thought it was.
Yeah.
Well, not a meter. I chose to have it within my boundary. Her boundary, I don't care where it is. I chose to have the fence within our boundary, so
Right.
we're legal. And she has gone and removed pins and put them wherever she would like.
This roughly.
Yeah,
It's about 1.2 meters.
1.2, okay.
We're not digging this fence up. That's what we're not doing.